We know that everybody tries their best when they take a test or a quiz, or the fancy word for that is an assessment. But sometimes we make some mistakes and it doesn't work out the way we want. So retaking a test or a quiz is going to give us a second chance, a second opportunity to show what we've learned. Now, like most second chances, it's going to take some extra work and effort on your part, and they're limited in the number of opportunities you have, especially depending on what grade you're in. Now, there are 4 things that you need to do in order to retake an assessment, again, test or quiz. So the first thing is this. We want to print our math scores, just our math scores from Skyward, and I'll show you what that printout looks like. And they're all the math scores leading up to the test or quiz that we want to retake. Complete or redo anything, so I'm going to underline or highlight, complete or redo any assignments that are lower than 70%. So 70%, totally fine. 75%, that's fine. But if it's 69% or lower, then you want to retake it. And if it's something to deal with an online practice assignment, a practice worksheet, or a representative problem, anything that contributed to that low score, you've got to redo. And then this is really important. Please do not submit your redo assignments on Canvas. You've got to either scan those and turn them into your teacher separately, or you can actually just hand a physical copy to your teacher. So they've got to be turned in as part of the corrective assignment. And I'm going to show you number 4 below here in just a second. The next thing is you've got to complete a corrective form for all the problems that you missed on the test or quiz. And I'll show you the steps for that in just a second. And then the last thing is staple or scan everything all together and then submit it at least 2 school days before the time you want to retake that test or quiz. So if you want to retake it on a Friday, that means you've got to turn it in on a Wednesday. If you want to retake it on Wednesday, you've got to turn it in on Monday. And if you want to take it on Monday, count backwards to 2 school days, you've got to turn it in by Thursday. Now, I'm going to come down here and we're going to talk about the corrective form. Now, we've got copies of this green corrective form in class, but if you want to print one online, that's totally okay. So you should make sure that you write as neatly as you can on that corrective form. And please do not write on the original test or quiz. Don't change any answers or anything like that. And your original assessment and any scratch paper that you use has to be put together, stapled or scanned with that corrective. And if you need any help doing it, you can get help from anybody, including your teacher. That's totally fine. So here are the 3 steps for the corrective form, and I'll show you a corrective form in just a second. So the first thing is we want to write the problem number, we want to write the problem, and then we want to show how to do the problem correctly. So that means show all the work. Show the teacher that you really understand how to do the problem then. Then the second thing is you want to write down why you missed the problem. So once you've figured out the right way to do it, just give a little bit of an explanation of the mistake that you made. Now, you can't just say, I made a mistake or I forgot or something like that. You really want to identify what the mistake was. And then the third thing is, and this is important, be prepared to discuss what you learned, because your teacher might say, hey, I know you corrected this one, but can you tell me about this? They might ask you some questions about some other ones, and you have to retake the entire test or quiz, so you want to make sure you're ready to answer any questions on there. So an example would be something like this. The correct way to do number 4 is, so you write number 4, that's the one that you missed. You show it the right way, do every single one of the steps, and then you say you missed the problem on the original test because of, I made a sign error or something like that, and then be ready for the teacher to ask you about maybe some other things. So here are the 4 things. You've got to have a Skyward printout. You've got to complete any low assignments, that's lower than 70%, complete the corrective form, and then staple or scan them together. And then this is the big thing. Keep in mind that if you're in 7th grade, you get 4 retakes per quarter. 8th grade, you get 3 retakes per quarter. And then 9th grade, you get 2 retakes per quarter. So we're going to take a look at a couple of examples here. The first thing we're going to look at is, this is how you print from Skyward. So if you pull up your Skyward account, and look at a grade detail for any one of your classes, there's a little print icon in the upper corner. And if you click that little print icon, it's going to bring up a page that looks like this. So you can either save it as a PDF if you're going to submit it as a scan, or you might have to change the printer so you can actually print a physical copy. So once you have that Skyward printout, that's how you can look at the ones that you need to retake or redo in order to retake the test. So let me come down here and I'll show you an actual corrective form. This is a student that did a darn good job. I've crossed out their name. It's 4th period. They didn't include their test retake deadline, but that would be a good idea. This is from Unit 1, and it says equations, inequalities, and absolute value. Now, they didn't check things off here, but they did do this. Here's problem number 1. They did it the right way. They said what they did wrong. Problem 4, done the right way, said what they did wrong. Here's problem 11, done the right way, and then they said what they did wrong on that one. So I'm going to slide down here. Here is their Skyward printout. Crossed out their name there. You'll notice that I've got the practice test right here. They've got that submitted. and they submitted this right here. So I've just checked that off. And you'll notice that this person highlighted right here. 1.1 is the one that they got less than 70%. So I'll come down here and show you what they did. Here's the actual test. Remember 1 and 4, and I think it was 11 was the other one that they missed. I didn't copy the backside. But take a look at this one right here. Here's 1.1. There's the 61 that they got, and then they show that they fixed several of these problems. So there's a good example of somebody who went through. They went through the entire corrective procedure. They fixed everything. They've got their skyward printout right here. And then they've got the copy of the original assessment, and then there's the worksheet that they needed to fix. And then here's another one. This is a really good example. Again, crossed out the name, got the period, got the deadline on that one. And this person even went through and they checked off each one of these things as they did them. The detailed skyward printout, they completed to read it anything less than 70%. The corrective sheet, here's that green corrective sheet, and then they put everything all together. Now, they missed number 1, 4, and 5. Notice they did the work instead of what they did wrong. And this person had a unique situation. They actually didn't have anything on their skyward printout that was less than 70%. So they just printed it out and said, here you go. These are my scores. They're all more than 70%. So the only thing that they needed to include was their original assessment. So that's how you go through and do a corrective so that you can retake a test or a quiz. There's a couple good examples there, but again, once you get one of these green sheets or print one of these off, you basically follow these 4 little check marks right here, get those done, and you'll be in good shape. If you need some help, your teacher would be happy to help you.